to my great surprise, over the last few weeks, I've been getting a lot of requests on the comments on YouTube to do another political special where I show the myriad ways in which Donald J. Trump is gonna lose and lose bigly. Bigly, believe me, the best losing. Nobody loses bigger than him, believe me. Well, I was gonna do it, but it's so volatile. It just fell apart so quickly. I was gonna do it right after the first debate, but then the whole snatch grabbing tape dropped, and everything moved so quickly that at any given time I was like, oh my gosh, I should do it right now, but it's still moving so quickly. And it just really fell apart. And big thanks to everyone who's viewed the videos on YouTube. There are kind of a shocking number of views on these, on my past analytics, looking back at the views on my various videos about why Trump will lose and lose bigly in what's now about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. And really less than that, because so many states have early voting. I've already cast my vote. Tina has cast hers. I'm reading reports from around the country that early voting is going strong. Now, there is some discussion as to whether enthusiasm is up or down this year, but it appears to be, pretty strong, at least in states where they haven't gone to tremendous lengths to make sure no one votes early. Because as you know, there is a party who relies heavily on people not voting. Just don't vote and then we'll win, and it's going to be great. You'll love it, but you won't, because you didn't get to vote. And you can never say, well, I didn't vote for the bastard, because, well, anyway. So there probably will not be another election analytics update, because it just moves so quickly now. And it stopped moving, but it stopped moving at a place where Donald is really facing an uphill battle. It would take all of the pollsters, like all of them being wrong, for him to stand a snowball's chance in hell. And more importantly, and this is kind of fun for me, is that he has damaged his brand irreparably. I believe he only ran as a political stunt, something to cheaply up the value of his brand. And that's a great idea, except he didn't count on idiots. And idiots have propelled him to a place even he didn't expect. Certainly the other Republican candidates didn't, which is evidenced by the fact that they did basically no opposition research. No, bookings are down at his hotels. Room rates are down at his hotels. Foot traffic, as measured by Foursquare and other metrics, is down at his hotels. And he is the self-proclaimed king of debt. Now, that's great. You can borrow money and use it to make more money. You can pay off the debt and still have a big fat chunk for yourself. The problem is a 10% dip can take all your monies. It can take all your profit. I learned that the hard way. I was over leveraged in the late 90s, early 2000s. Back before the turn of the century. I was over leveraged. Couple bad months, everything went south. I would be a comfy puppy right now had I been able to keep my head above water, but I just couldn't. Now, I believe that Mr. Trump has caused so much harm to his brand that his margin is starting to look negative. And unfortunately, because, he owns so many businesses. Well, yes, that's because every single thing he does is a separate business from everything else. That way, when you go to say, I'm going to sue your ass, he can say, well, you're only suing one hotel. And that one hotel only has, $5 million in equity. There's nothing there. You can't get me. Well, the problem becomes if half his properties are underwater, and the other half are doing great. The great half can't go back and pay the bad half. You can't rob Peter to pay Paul. Although, tell that to Yoko. I'm just saying. No, wrong group of apostles. I'm getting my things mixed up. No, the thing is, he's not just hurting his brands, but he's going to bankrupt half of them. That's my prediction. Unless he wins. Now, he's pulled back ads in so many markets, and maybe that's a stroke of genius. Nah, it's obvious. He's not running to win. He's counting on a miracle to win. And he knows that throwing another million or 10 million at it is not going to help him win. He needs Secretary Clinton to trip, fall, and murder a child on live television in order for him to win. So that's all. No more election updates. We'll dance a jig next month, but for now, that's all we got. So there you go.